Today we're going to talk about hamstring tension and how it relates to low back pain. A lot of people that have super tight hamstrings have issues with their low back. And the reason why this often is the case is because you have an unstable low back. Your low back does not have enough curve in it, it does not have enough tone in it, and the hamstrings are taking over all the movements for your low back. There's a natural curve to the low back, and the natural curve to low back follows the shape of the vertebrae in the low back. The vertebrae in the low back has very subtle wedges to them. This wedge shape means that there's this very slight curve in the low back, which is different for everyone. This curve is not necessarily always the same for all bodies, but there should be a little bit of curve there. If there's no curve there, generally speaking, the problem is lack of mobility in the hips. The hips aren't allowing the pelvis to rotate forward enough for that natural curve to happen. When this shows up, oftentimes hamstrings are the primary problem. So what do we do for that? What do we do for hamstrings? There's a couple things to do for hamstrings. One of the things is we can stretch them. Stretching hamstrings is great. You want to be conscientious about how you stretch those hamstrings though. So if I'm sitting here and stretching my hamstrings, I want to make sure that I'm leaning forward, keeping my back as straight as I can. I like to have one leg just relaxed to the side, the other leg straight, and I'm gonna lean forward and towards that leg. If you'll notice, I'm not leaning that far forward, but I'm feeling a stretch all the way down the back of my hamstring. And you just wanna hang out here for a while. It takes 20 seconds to 2 minutes for something to change in the body, so you wanna spend at least 20 seconds of time here, and you wanna do it pretty regularly. Daily would be great, at least 3 times a week, something like that. So I'm gonna just hang out here. I'm not gonna worry about touching my toes. If I have a flat back, there's a real danger towards too much leaning forward. As you see, I'm bowing my back forward. This is gonna cause too much mobility in the back. I could throw my back out. And it's not what my back needs if I have that posterior rotation in the pelvis. So we're just gonna hang out. The next thing that you can do is you can use some kind of a tool on the hamstring. This is my deep tissue roller. This is the most effective tool for the hamstring. First, we're going to shorten the roller all the way so that we're using the 2 rollers on each side of the hamstring. The hamstring is 3 sets of muscles, and these rollers can slide right in between those muscles, right? You can have the outer hamstring here, the outer hamstring here, and the center hamstring in the middle. If I tip this forward, I'm gonna have a little bit of a closer position or farther apart, a little further apart position, just depending on where you're feeling the tension in your hamstring. So I'm just gonna take that roller, it's real simple, put it underneath the hamstring, and I'm gonna put my weight into it. So much like when I'm stretching, I'm gonna try to keep my back as straight as I can. I'm gonna lean forward into the roller. As I lean forward, I can feel more pressure on that leg. One of the things you can do, especially if you don't have a lot of flexibility, is just put your back up against a wall to get this result. If you've got the flexibility, you can put the one leg over the other leg, right above the kneecap. I can even do it below the leg if that feels too intense. I can use my hand to push down on it. This whole time I'm trying to relax this leg so that I can allow the hamstring to really accept the work that I'm giving it. If I want to move on the device, I'm going to put my hands down, scooch my butt forward while reaching forward with the heel of my right leg here to find a little bit more work in a higher point on that hamstring. I'm gonna cross the leg over again. I'm just gonna hang out here. This is a really good feeling. Again, 20 seconds to 2 minutes for any change. We really wanna take our time and just kind of figure out what body English is gonna work best for you in order to get to where you need to be on your hamstring. You find yourself wanting to readjust it if you want a different spot. So again, right there, I just put the blades of the roller a little bit in, which makes a little bit more targeted spot right in the middle, and that feels really amazing to me. But if I widen those blades out a little bit, that means I'm getting, oh, that feels good too. That means I'm getting the outer parts of the hamstring there. Both super effective, feel really great. I'm on a pretty soft table right now, so that really mitigates how much tension I'm feeling release. If I was on a hard ground, the pressure would feel a lot more intense, like a carpet is somewhere in the middle of this and a hard floor. A yoga mat is good if you're on a hard floor, just to prevent slippage on the device. Really effective for hamstrings. You know, you can also use a softball or some kind of smaller ball, but nothing beats the penetrative force of these two edges of the roller here. These two edges really do a great job of getting in between those muscles. There's 3 hamstring muscles, and those 3 muscles can really be teased apart with the blades of the roller here. Super effective tool for hamstring work. I really recommend it.